My son is being pressured to apologize for rejecting a girl who won't take no for an answer. And now my wife thinks I'm a jerk for supporting him and that our son is growing up to be a jerk too. I never thought standing up for my son would turn me into the bad guy. But here I am, caught between my own family and my own principles. My name is Jake Reynolds, a 45-year-old father living in Denver, Colorado. I have a beautiful wife, Laura, and a 16-year-old son, Ethan. Ethan is a good kid, polite, respectful, and never the type to go looking for trouble. But trouble has a way of finding you, especially when you're young and trying to do the right thing. It all started with a girl named Sophie. She was in Ethan's grade, and by all accounts, she was smart, pretty, and well-liked. But she had one problem. She wouldn't take no for an answer. Sophie had a crush on Ethan, and for months, she made it her mission to win him over. It started harmless, passing notes, lingering after class to chat, even offering him homemade cookies. Ethan was flattered, but just wasn't interested. He told her that, kindly, over and over again. But Sophie didn't believe in no. She started showing up at our house unannounced, under the guise of needing homework help. She'd text him at all hours, leave little gifts in his locker, and even managed to convince some of her friends to pester him about giving her a chance. Ethan handled it maturely. He never insulted her, never mocked her. He just didn't reciprocate her feelings. Then one day, everything changed. It was after school when Sophie confronted Ethan in front of a crowd. I wasn't there, but Ethan told me about it later that night. She'd blocked his path, eyes red with frustration. "Why won't you even give me a chance?" she'd asked, her voice trembling. Ethan, ever the gentleman, sighed. "Sophie, I don't have those feelings for you. I'm really sorry." But instead of accepting it, she broke down, right there in the middle of the hallway. And suddenly, Ethan was the villain. People turned on him. Friends, teachers, everyone whispered about how heartless he was. How could he make her cry like that? Why couldn't he just go on one date with her? The pressure was unbearable. By the time he got home, Ethan was shaken. My wife, Laura, was already waiting, and she had that look, the one that said I wasn't going to like what she had to say. "You need to talk to him," she told me, arms crossed. "About what?" I asked. She sighed. "About apologizing to Sophie." I blinked. "For what?" "For hurting her feelings," she said like it was obvious. "The poor girl is heartbroken." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Laura, he didn't do anything wrong. He was honest. He was polite. He just doesn't like her that way. He shouldn't have to apologize for that. She scoffed. "You don't get it. Girls are sensitive at that age." She put herself out there, and he humiliated her in front of everyone. I shook my head. She put herself out there over and over again, and Ethan told her the truth every time. This isn't about humiliation. This is about entitlement. She thinks she's owed a yes just because she likes him. That's not how it works. Laura wasn't having it. "So you think it's okay for him to just crush her like that? No wonder everyone's saying he's being a jerk." And just like that, my wife turned against me too. I turned to Ethan, who was sitting silently, staring at the floor. He looked exhausted, defeated. "Ethan," I said gently, "do you think you should apologize?" He shook his head. "Dad, I didn't do anything wrong. I don't want to lead her on. I don't want to lie to her." And that was all I needed to hear. I looked back at Laura. "I won't force him to say sorry for telling the truth." She threw up her hands. "Fine, but don't be surprised if people start seeing him and you as heartless." The next few weeks were hell. Sophie's friends made sure everyone at school thought Ethan was cruel. Laura barely spoke to me. Even some of the other parents at our son's school sent subtle jabs about raising boys who lack empathy. But I stood my ground, because I refused to teach my son that he owes anyone his affection, that saying no should come with guilt. And you know what? After the dust settled, something incredible happened. Sophie moved on. Eventually, she found someone who actually liked her back. And Ethan? He learned a lesson most boys aren't taught, that his feelings matter too. So am I the jerk for supporting my son? If standing by him means I am, then I'll wear that label proudly, because I'd rather raise a boy who respects himself than one who thinks he owes the world a yes.